Hello, everybody. It's good to see you all here. I'm Hunter Cutting with Climate Action Network International. I wish I could tell you that I was pleased to be up here today, but I am not. I am standing in for Ben Wickler from AVAAZ, who you're used to seeing up on the stage here. Ben, along with thousands of others of observers, has been blocked from entering the negotiation halls. And this is a serious loss for everyone who cares about the impacts of climate change around the world. Observers are the eyes and ears of the world. They are the watchdogs that provide an honest accounting for what goes down inside these negotiation halls. Observers help provide the daylight that ensures that everyone can see what is going on inside these halls. However, I will stand in for Ben tonight because the fossil lives on. Woo! Come on. Woo! I would like to invite my lovely co-host up here tonight, Gillian Caldwell with One Sky, to present tonight's nominations. Hello, Gillian. Woo!
Well, thank you very much, Hunter. We're gathered here today for a time-honored tradition. And before I go any further, Hair Mermaid, are you with us? Please join us and lead us in the time-honored tradition of the Fossil of the Day song. Can you hold it for us? Can we have the music, please? Thank you very much, Hair Mermaid. We have just 2 fossils to present this evening. And of course, in a truly time-honored tradition, we have the safe that contains the results of today's rigorous deliberations. For the second place fossil this evening, may I please have a countdown from 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the second place to the Umbrella Group. To the Umbrella Group. This second place fossil goes to the Umbrella Group, which is all industrialized Annex I countries other than the European Union, now receiving their second fossil of this year's COP, for blocking progress towards a fair, ambitious, and binding agreement by failing to commit to the critical long-term finance, the $195 billion to developing countries, the funds they need and deserve to manage the transition away from the warming planet that industrialized countries have created and towards the sustainable, clean energy economy of the future. May I invite tonight's second place fossil recipient, George Leipnick from the Australian Youth Coalition, please, to your dishonored place on the stage. And do you have anything to say for yourself, sir?
Hello, thank you for this fine honour. I would like to apologise for the delays in getting here. As you can understand, it's a very long flight from Australia. And we've been recently negotiating, and I'm sure you can appreciate it's very important that we keep our $10 billion annual subsidy for the coal industry. They're great supporters of myself and the party. But I can assure you we're taking the matter very seriously. As you know, we've recently flown out 150 people in our entourage to make sure we get a deal passed here in Copenhagen.
Well, stay right where you are. And now, the moment we have all been waiting for. Who will be the winner of tonight's first place fossil award? Let's have a countdown from 5, ladies and gentlemen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God, it's the United States of America. It's the United States of America for stalling negotiations to save life on planet Earth. Ladies and gentlemen, this is unfortunately the third first place fossil for the United States this week alone. And as we know, the fossil is the highest dishonor given to the government that does the most to block progress towards achieving a fair, ambitious, and binding treaty, which, as we know from all of the activity outside and inside this center, is what the world rightfully expects right now. This fossil is bestowed upon the United States for having inserted a proposed X%, an X% as an alternative to the science-based targets that were in the text of the agreement. The proposed X is intended by the United States to represent voluntary pledges by parties to the agreement to replace binding, concrete and binding science-based emissions reductions. Boo. Boo. The United States also placed question marks in the form of brackets on pages and pages and pages of the text. And so I would like to invite to the stage Matt Moriana from Sustain Us in the United States, who has quite a swagger, given his influence over these negotiations, to talk to us about their position.
Thank you all so much for this great dishonorable dishonor. I can't tell you how fantastic it feels to be back up here for the third day in a row. We were a bit worried last week when we received 0 Fossil of the Day awards, and so I think we've proved our point, receiving first place award for the third day in a row, that we can obstruct the climate negotiations like nobody's business, except maybe ExxonMobil's, but that's beside the point. I've got to confess something to you, though. I'm actually a little nervous that once President Obama gets here, he'll change our marching orders. So who knows? We might not be in the first place stand for long. Thank you again.
Let's go, Obama! Obama! Let's go, Obama! Well, there's always the opportunity to offer a ray of the day. A ray of the day is not being offered tonight, but we love the opportunity to offer rays of the day. And there are lots of heads of state arriving. Let's have a round of applause for a ray of the day. Whomever dares to lead in the fight to save life on planet Earth, a ray of the day would be awarded to you, and we welcome your leadership. That's what this is about, after all, is leadership. And so, before we close with yet another Fossil of the Day anthem, I would like to remind you that the Fossil of the Day persists no matter what, through thick and thin. We will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. If for any reason our colleagues continue to be blocked in their access, our observers blocked in their access to this, look at fossiloftheday.com for details as to where the Fossil of the Day will be presented, but we will not be swayed in our continued course to bring justice to this ceremony. And now, a final anthem.